Hey guys, what's up? Carter here. Got a knife to show you. This is what some people are calling the poor man's Hinderer. Kind of like the San Remnu 710 being the poor man's small Sabenza. This is the Inron MY803. As can be seen right there. MY803. Before we start talking about this, sorry for the slow intro, I had something on my mind. But yeah, before we start in on this, this knife falls into one of those gray areas, right, where it's, is it a copy, is it a fake, is it a ripoff, is it not, is it kind of, you know, it's obviously it's not a blatant duplicate, but there's some really strong design characteristics that were lifted from Rick Hinderer's design. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. What do you think about this knife? I remember when the San Remnu kind of first came on the scene, it was met with a lot of criticism as being a fake small Sabenza. Now, however, it's tolerated really well. I haven't really heard anybody complain from that regard. Maybe it's because there's better fakes. I don't know, but people have given it a free pass now. But I remember when some people were upset about it. So I'm wondering if this is going to be the same type deal. Tighten the pivot up a little too tight. If this is going to be the same deal or what. So I don't know. I guess I'll be able to judge by the thumbs downs I get. But please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think this falls within the asshole ripoff piece of crap category, or do you give it a little bit more leniency? Let's talk about this baby. Pretty big. It's a lot bigger than I thought. It's almost a 4-inch blade, 9 inches overall. Frame lock, steel frame lock, as you can see there. It is tip up right hand carry only. It has a 9 CR13 MOV blade. I have no idea how that compares to 8 CR13 MOV. You know, you can't always assume that because the number's bigger that means it's better. It might not actually be the case. Huh, what is that? Looks like it's got some glue on the tip. It has a grind very similar to Rick's slicer grind, not the Sponto that is more well known. It is a flipper, as you can see. It actually rides on one Teflon washer and one bronze phosphorus washer. So that's interesting. It, well, we'll talk about lockup here in a sec. It flies open pretty dang well, especially before I tightened up the pivot before I did this video. Funny how that goes. You can see the detent ball, maybe, and how it actually is flattened on the top. See that? See how it's flattened on the top? That's generally how most knife makers do their detent ball on a flipper. That allows it to build up kinetic force when you're pressing on it, and then the second it makes it past and hits that flat part, it flies open. Has an Allen head or flat head pivot, just like a Rick Hinderer design does. It has flush screws that are oh, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, freaking A. I hate it when that happens. Anyways, moving on. It's the little starfish ones. What the crap? Seriously, I say that word all the time. I've got multiple bits back there. Anyways, standoffs are pillar type, kind of like closer to the earlier generation Hinderers, but, you know, different. Quite a bit different. Satin finish on the back. Pocket clip is very reminiscent of Rick Hinderer's design. Overall shape, I mean, obviously, it's very, very close. Very close. Probably the biggest difference is that it's really thin. The shape feels great in the hand, but it feels kind of weird because it is so thin. Couldn't really remedy that, though, with a steel frame lock. It would just be much too heavy. The G10 on here, which does come in multiple colors, is very lightly textured, and it is actually G10. You can see the texture there barely. Fit and finish on this is not the greatest. This pivot was all chewed up from being tightened or loosened or something like that. The G10 was all covered in muck and goop. These scales don't exactly line up. The locking side actually is proud to this side, and then this jimping, which would be fairly functional, except on this side the G10 completely covers it and actually kind of overlaps it on that side. But probably the main issue with this knife is with the lockup. That was actually one of the better lockups that it's held. So it could be kind of improving a little, yeah. I mean, it's rattling. Oh, there it goes. But yeah, the lockup isn't the greatest. No, and it'll probably suit most users' needs as far as strength goes before it gives way, obviously. But you know it can be done better than that, and you know it can be done right. So it's not a limitation of technology, it's just a limitation of how it was implemented in this knife. And I don't know if it's just this knife, or if you know, you might run into that problem in all of them. But at any rate, it is kind of an indicator of quality control issues on these. Oh, I didn't talk price. These are very inexpensive. You're looking at about 20 bucks shipped to your door. If it wasn't for the lockup issue, I think I could actually recommend this blade. But, you know, not with that. I mean, frame locks have been around forever. Shouldn't be that hard to get it to actually withstand that kind of force. Just basically it's just slipping out of place, which is, you can see how, you know, it's cut at a quite an acute angle, and then the way that it interfaces, it just hits that inside corner, and it just doesn't hold. It slides, and being that it's steel on steel, there's no sticking to help it keep it engaged. So yeah, just kind of slips off. See, this time, oh no, I spoke too soon. I was going to say that time it held. So yeah, that's kind of a quick look at the Inron MY803. Let me know what you guys think about this knife. Do you think it's a total rip-off of Rick and it deserves to be thrown in with the other ones, or do you give it a little more slack because it's not trying to look exactly like it? Or let me know. I actually picked this up from a tip from a viewer who wanted me to check it out and kind of do a review on it, and most importantly compare it to my Hinderer, which I've since sold. I kind of forgot that I ordered this. It's taken forever to get in from China. Seriously, it's been like a month, maybe more, since I ordered this thing. So I don't have it to compare, but you know, I didn't mention a lot of the things with the thickness and, you know, obviously materials and all the features that just are not here. But yeah, so that's a quick look. Alright guys, let me know. Take it easy.